of life on Earth and how we got here. To some people, they appear to be at odds, but others say they find the theories quite complementary. And joining us now, the actor, the economist, the author, Ben Stein. He's got a new film that opens Fridays in theaters around the United States. I guess eventually around the world as well. The movie is entitled Expelled, No Intelligence Allowed. Ben, thanks for coming in.
Honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm going to play a little clip, first of all, from the film, and then we'll discuss.
Go ahead.
I was viewed as an intellectual terrorist.
Terrorist.
Because of giving the topic of intelligent design some modicum of credibility.
All right, so explain what the film is about.
This film is about the struggle between intelligent design and Darwinism, and whether or not intelligent design will be allowed to be discussed, whether or not questions and holes in Darwinism will be allowed to be discussed, whether or not there will be freedom of speech about origins and the development of life.
Intelligent design, you're saying it's not creationism?
No, because creationism says God created the earth in 6 days, and on the seventh day he rested. We just say there looks like there's an intelligent design. We're not sure who the designer is, although I am quite sure it's God. But you could have intelligent design without God being the intelligent designer. And in fact, I think the high point of the movie is when Richard Dawkins, very, very, very famous atheist evolutionist, says he believes there could be intelligent design too, but that it was people from outer space who did the designing.
Is the theory of evolution that Charles Darwin came up with, what, 150 years or so ago?
Oh, yeah, roughly that, right.
Do you believe in that theory of evolution?
Absolutely, without question, in terms of microevolution within species, about how certain butterflies got to have certain kind of spots, certain finches had to have certain characteristics, without question. Certain microbes and bacteria evolved, without question. But no one has ever observed the evolution of a separate, distinct species. Evolutionism, as taught by Darwinism, has nothing to say about how life originated, has nothing to say about how the governing principles in the universe, gravity, thermodynamics, motion, fluid motion, how any of those originated. It's got some gigantic missing pieces.
All right, I think you're basically, and we'll play some clips on the same page as the three presidential candidates right now. Here's what Barack Obama said the other day in the Faith Forum, the Compassion Forum that we televised here on CNN on this subject.
Great.
I do believe in evolution. I don't think that is incompatible with Christian faith, just as I don't think science generally is incompatible with Christian faith.
That was Barack Obama. Hillary Clinton, she said this late last year. She said, I believe in evolution. I believe that our founders had faith in reason, and they also had faith in God. And one of our gifts from God is the ability to reason. And John McCain says, I believe in evolution, but I also believe when I hike the Grand Canyon and see it at sunset, that the hand of God is there also. Are you basically on the same page with all three of these candidates?
Yes, absolutely. And I think all of them would agree with me. And I think you, if you had time to think about it, because you're too busy to have time to think about these kinds of issues, would say, how did things start? I mean, evolution explains how things changed, but how did they start? How did gravity start? How did all the principles of physics that govern the universe start? How did matter start? How did energy start? You know, Einstein said he believed he was explaining the works of God. Newton said he believed he was explaining the works of God. Kepler said he believed he was explaining the works of God. Now that's not allowed. You get kicked out if you say that on camera.
All right, so just to be precise, and I want to just wrap it up.
Yes.
Because this is all very sensitive stuff,
very
as you
sensitive.
know.
It's very
Ben Stein believes in evolution.
Absolutely.
Ben Stein believes in intelligent design. Ben Stein does not believe in creationism.
Well, I don't believe that God created the earth in 6 days, and on the seventh day he rested, but there are many perfectly intelligent people who do, but I don't believe in that. But I believe...
Because a lot of religious people out there, they believe in God, they believe in the story as told in the Bible, but they also believe that the 6 days, that formula of days may not have been a 24-hour period, it could have been 24 billion years, and that the 6 days was just a metaphor, if you will, for a long period of time.
Well, that is possible, but I'll tell you what I'd like is for all of us to be able to discuss it, and to discuss it rationally and without being told we're idiots and knuckle-dragging Neanderthals to want to have a belief in a creator. And that isn't happening now on college campuses, so we'd like people to think about the descent of free speech.
And you're hoping your film will spark that kind of discussion.
It's all about freedom of speech.
Before I let you go, let's quickly talk about the campaign.
Yes, let's.
Are you on McCain's bandwagon?
Well, I'm a Republican, and I will almost certainly vote for him, but I'm very disappointed about some of his attitudes about taxes and fiscal policy. And about
he says the Bush tax cuts should be made permanent.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
What do you think?
I think we've got to tax the rich more and give the money to the military, give the money to a lot of other worthy causes. The rich already have plenty of money. They can be taxed more. It won't be a problem for them. And even if it is a problem for them, too bad. I think we've got to have a much tougher line on corporate crime. The corporate irresponsibility in this country is beyond belief. The problems in the subprime market, the credit crunch, they weren't caused by forces of nature, like Secretary Paulson says. They were caused by extreme human greed and acting outside the bounds of decency and without government regulation. The government has got to get back to regulating these people. Human nature is corrupt and needs to be regulated.
Ben Stein, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This footnote, the scientific community largely scoffs at the notion of intelligent design.